Hey Wanderers, this is Wandering Marine. Welcome back. Let's get this rotated around. It's a lot wider field of view than I How you doing? How you doing, Zeno? Oops. Yeah, so the field of view on this is actually different than when I'm taking video, apparently. Can you guys hear me? On the menu is the menu 7, the one in front. Alright. You got these little leaves that keep coming over here. It just got windy as soon as I wanted to hit the stream button. Let's see. Let's see here. Wait, more people come, alright. Hey Kara. Hey Dwayne. Alright, let's get this started. So, have all of you guys already seen the MRE stars? Hey Jaime. I didn't expect you to come on here. So this is the meal today. Unfortunately, I had to change my camera angle because I don't have a second device to read comments. So I really had a cool setup, and then I realized this, and there's not much I can do about it right now. Hey Tracy. And I'm about to leave the main continental United States, so I'm not gonna take all these on the airplane with me, even though you're supposed to be able to. I don't want to play with that. So I'm just gonna leave it. Hey K-List. So here's the meal. Alright, so firstly I always like to check what this main meal is. Alright, this is the pasta marinara with veggie meat crumbles. First thing I do is make sure I get this right in the flameless ration heater, because this is the thing that takes up to about 15 minutes to use, depending on if you want to heat it all the way. Do you guys have any questions for me about travel? I'm going to Hawaii and maybe Guam as well. Can you guys hear me all? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Let me see. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or not. No one. Okay, sounds good. All right. Just want to make sure. So, I'm actually going to be doing a different type of video in Hawaii. I'm planning to eat from some vending machines for something like 24 hours, maybe a little more. We'll see. Haven't made the video yet. So I went to a vending convention in Las Vegas, among the other things I've done. I've been to a lot of cities now. So many cities, it becomes hard to track because, you get like 50 cities and it's like, it just gets a lot. Sugar-free chocolate. I've seen a lot of those. In fact, chocolate wasn't had with sugar originally by the Aztecs. It was a drink. And it was often had with a little bit of spice. So it was basically a spicy chocolate drink. All right, so we got this heating. We're outside, so it's not a big deal. So if you guys don't know who Jaime Ibanez is, he was on the chat. Not sure if he's still here, but he's actually a pretty big YouTuber, or becoming a big YouTuber. He's got about he's about to hit 100K in maybe a week. He just started a few months ago. It's pretty impressive. Maybe like 3 months ago now he started. So this is corn nuts. This is the part of the meal. Let's see here. If you guys have any questions for me about MREs, or maybe what it was like to be a cook in the military or something like that, pretty much ask anything, as long as it's not too personal for the live stream. Yeah, so I've actually traveled a lot in Mexico, a little over half a year. I think it was about 3 trips in Mexico, as well as Guatemala for 2.5 months, which is obviously not part of Mexico. However, it was territory of the Mayans. So traditionally, it was some of the same lands. Got some crackers here. So the drink in this one is fruit punch. It even has red to indicate the color of the drink. It's interesting. Okay, very literal. What was it like to be a cook in the military? All right, well, I'm speaking specific to Marines, my experience. It was a lot of hours, and sometimes you might even have to run the whole deal by yourself, or with just one other person or 2 other people, and serve a couple hundred people, running around opening. You have to maybe open the doors, sign people in. It depends on what chow hall you're in, or mess hall. Every branch calls their kitchens a little different name, and you might work a lot of hours because there's no limit like 40 hours on your work week. So it can get pretty intense sometimes when you have like 1,000 people. It's just a few of you. Imagine cooking like 300 portions of some meal, and it has like 7 ingredients and maybe like 5 steps, and you have to do this while cooking something else. So you have all these steps, which in and of itself, this one specific meal might not be too bad, but knowing that you have to cook like 3 different things, and then also talk to people, serve them, it can get pretty rough. So here's fruit punch. Where am I now? I'm in Chula Vista, which is right next to San Diego and Tijuana. So I'm right on the border with Mexico. ¿Cómo está Carlita? No, I did not do any training in Canada. I know that we do cross-train with like everybody. I mean, even if in Afghanistan, you might end up. I mean, I wasn't in Afghanistan, but I know plenty of people who were in stories and stuff you hear online and all that. You know, they might even end up training people in Afghanistan or these kinds of things. So you'd be surprised where Marines could train. Middle of nowhere, middle of somewhere. Never know. So this is the fruit punch. Looks pretty normal. Nothing that stands out about it versus other fruit punches. I know they can get super sugary. This one isn't as bad as some. Although there is sugar in here, so you could add and make it sugary. Okay, actually, if I don't believe that the border would be closed. I mean, if it did, it would probably be very temporary. But it would actually affect me a lot because my girlfriend lives there. So, yeah, it would be a little bit bad for me. Might have an issue. Just saying in theory. But I'm on the American side right now, so realistically at the moment, it wouldn't affect me at all. Okay, so would the military experience be enough to start a restaurant? I have to say no. I mean, just being honest here, it's not enough, it's not sufficient. However, it does give you a lot of skills as far as multiple aspects. Some of the aspects you might not have done in a civilian capacity, and also you might not have practiced as hard of work ethic. Not to say that you can't have hard work ethic in and outside the military both, but it's pretty much a guarantee when you're in the military that you have to have some level of good work ethic. So, you know, you get to cook a lot of things, you get to serve, so you do get a lot of aspects. Cleaning, you have to learn sanitation, which I know in a lot of places they don't really teach you sanitation. You just kind of get taught, you know, wash your hands and all that, and they don't even teach you how to wash your hands, you know. And the reality is, a lot of people don't know how to wash their hands, and so you got people at restaurants that are not necessarily washing their hands right. Are you there to see them wash it? Not really, so can't really know. Here, give me a moment. Gotta organize this. Definitely got some wind here, which is kind of making me have to hold things extra careful. It's the funny thing about traveling around, you know, you can't have a dedicated space. I was thinking about doing this in a park or something, but you know, it's a little different filming there. Three months of hand washing and sanitation? What does this mean? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by this. So it means that it seemed like you're washing your hands just constantly. If that's the case, yeah, it's the same in when you're cooking. Hopefully, it should be, you know, because they want you to clean your hands before this, after this, you know, and then you have to wear gloves, and I mean it's all great, and that's why people don't get sick. You know, you can't prevent people from getting sick or not, though, just by gloves, of course. So, got all these things about meat not being over other products and all that. So, it's just a lot of factors that can get people sick. But there's one part that you can fix. It's hand washing. You can drastically lower the chance of that being the cause. And that is a big cause of it. You know, if you touch something and you can infect other people. Just got some coffee here. Any more questions? How long will you be in Hawaii for? You know what? That's that's one of those questions I can't answer because I don't know. But the plan is just to maybe 2-3 weeks. When I say Hawaii, just for reference, I'm talking about Hawaii, the big island. So it's, I believe, not the main tourist place to go. I'm gonna look at some tea farms. I believe there are 2. There's one that I saw that is a mixed tea and coffee farm, as well as the other that is a just tea farm. Do they have herbals? I'm not sure, by the way. So tea is tisane. Tea and tisane are the 2 different ways to look at tea. One tisane is not from Camellia sinensis, just for reference, which kind of twists the definition of it. And then you got some, you know, ripened and all that, just for a little bit of information on it. They drilled into us. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good, because you definitely need that drilled into you, at least for some people. Because it's just so critical. I imagine it's got to be more important even for when you come to a hospital setting, because typically the bacteria you get from not washing your hands in the case of cooking is just going to get people sick. It's not going to cause a serious harm. You know, it could. So you don't want to play that game and go, well, I want to hurt them, you know, like that. But of course it can still. But hospital, I just imagine you got a lot more serious bacteria and stuff you're potentially working with. A lot of different scenarios. Guess I'm going to be eating some leaves today. That was a fail. So, peanut butter has started to liquefy. It's all right. See here. Hawaii is expensive. I believe the 3 most expensive states are first Alaska, then California, then Hawaii. I could be a little bit off, but I'm pretty sure on the Alaska part. Of course, there's New York City, which is pretty expensive, but it still falls under San Francisco. Of course, those aren't states, but as far as locations, I was just in San Francisco for reference. These leaves just keep falling right in here. So one good thing this time is there's no residue from the heater, which I have been getting with some of these. So that's good. Whoa. I know leaves are about to fall. Leaves are definitely about to fall right in here, but it is what it is. I'm gonna try some salt and pepper. It tastes pretty good. I just tried a little bit of it. Marinara pasta. So it's not a meat dish. So just for your viewers on here, I am sending some of you guys a meal this month and some of you guys another month. I'm cutting off the ones I sent in just a few days for this month, and then I'll start again next month. I'm doing them so far only through foreign MRE. However, depending on location and what people want, I might end up doing secondary service due to practicality and so on. Because I don't think I'm going to send a foreignmre.com MRE to Europe. I don't think that would make sense, especially if it's a European Russian. How long do you plan on wandering? I love it. Okay. Oh, and then Xeno, or actually Xeno was first. Okay. So I am near some chickens. Apparently you're allowed to have some chickens here. There's a limit on them, and this person has a few. And apparently they could actually have more. And that's the rule here. Did you guys want to see some of the... All right. How long do you plan on wandering for? Well, actually, this trip is coming to an end pretty soon. Not so soon, but in maybe a month it'll be over. And then I'll see what happens with the... I might go to China, or I might go to China as well to visit maybe Yunnan province, or Yunnan province, or Shanghai. I want to learn Mandarin and to learn more about tea, but that isn't really anything official yet. It's just kind of an idea that I've come across. Unfortunately, it is tea season right now, which is a little bit of a time issue because this is the time to go. There is a spring and a summer season for tea, and I got a nice leaf in there. So I already know what the crackers taste like anyway. but it's just for display purposes more. I've already had these. But if you're eating these, realistically, you're going to be outside, and you're definitely going to be getting stuff in your food anyway. Though you do have packets, so, but if it's like a sandy environment or something, you're probably going to be eating sand, to be quite realistic. Definitely better than having it on a plate though. Tonight or tomorrow night, I'm going to do a, okay, contest for a ration with because of the 100 subscribers. Yeah, that's awesome, Tracy. Let's see, let's try this out. Also got some sugar here. Let's put that in the drink. Would you guys like me to do another ration now, or what do you guys think? I mean, after this one. Because I don't think I'll be able to do rations for a few more weeks again. I have one that I have some technical difficulties with that is on its way that I wanted to put up a couple days ago. I might have to wait on that one for a few months. I think I should be able to save that footage. It just doesn't want to cooperate with the phone for some reason. Even though I've done this several times and it's just not acting the way the film normally acts. I don't know why. Quite yet. Haven't figured that out. So, you got the coffee here? So of course it definitely does taste a little better, even though that it's not hot. It's cold. It's like warm this time because of the temperature outside. This fruit punch is actually good. I mean, of course it's an artificial drink, but these aren't the most healthy of all meals. They're practical meals. Corn nuts. The corn nuts are a little bit sweet, a little bit salty. Okay. Playlist isn't staying on. All right. Doing some dishes. All right. So, if at least like 3 of you are gonna stay on, I'm gonna continue with the next video because get some of these MREs out the way and we can try some new MREs later on. Oh wow, this is raining leaves right now. I'm gonna try some new MREs, maybe some cold weathers and so on later on. All right, let's try. So those cookies are sweet and nice flavor. They don't taste that hard. They're not like they're not hard to bite. Of course, sweet tarts are very sweet. You'll stay. So it sounds like I got at least 3 people. I don't know who the fourth person is on here right now. Maybe Kalis is still on. If you could hit that like button if you haven't. Since you guys are the ones who are staying on, you're probably the ones who did hit the button anyway. Alright. I think I'm just going to I'm probably going to need to clean this tray off, and I'll be back in just a couple minutes. So just be patient. So just a little bit more about that main meal, because that is the main meal after all. It has a little bit of that kind of bitter undertone. Not a strong bitter undertone. It's just very subtle. It's kind of typical with that, or maybe it's actually umami. And then with those spices, it definitely helps amp it up. If you're okay with crushed red pepper, which most anyone can handle crushed red pepper, it doesn't beat most people's tolerance. As well as, yeah, it definitely doesn't have meat, so it might not be as good to some people. See, do you guys have any questions specific on this meal? Take it to the chickens. These aren't my chickens. You hate it? What do you hate in specific? The meal? Oh, not you, yeah. Crushed red pepper's a little much for you, huh? Yeah. Alright, I'll be back in about, I'll try to keep it under 2 minutes if I can. One quick little side note. If you guys haven't seen these toothpicks already, these toothpicks are awesome because they actually get between your teeth right here. They have these little edges. So these are much better than your standard toothpick. And I believe they would harm your enamel less. Or maybe they don't even harm your enamel. Two minutes. Let's see, we still got 4 people here. Maintenance reports, all right. So I've actually got 2 menu options here. I believe these are the last 2, or there might be 3 left of my MRE case that I haven't put on YouTube yet, or haven't recorded, because there's one that's sitting, waiting to be edited. So, which would you guys prefer? A menu 12, which is a spicy Southwest chicken with rice and vegetables, or menu 14, beef ravioli? So beef ravioli or spicy Southwest chicken, rice and vegetables. Ravioli, okay. Figure I have at least 1 or 2 more people. Kansas City, I was actually just in Kansas City, like, I guess I was just everywhere, but I was there about a month ago. Just for the day. I exercised in Kansas City. Anybody else? All right. Got 2 for ravioli, so I think there's only 3 people commenting, so that is a majority. So go with that. If I still have at least a few people on here, I'll probably stay on a while more. See my battery. My battery's at 20%, so actually this will be the last meal. Otherwise I probably would have stayed on again for a 3rd one, depending on the people. So I used about 25% on the last one, so I need to say about the same time. All right, cool. You guys have any more questions about the Marines or anything like that? Because when you're cooking the Marines, they say basically that you're a Marine first or a rifleman first, meaning that